Hi, this is Sally Wood for Be Inspired, and recently I went shopping, and I really shouldn't go shopping. I very rarely try anything on, and I very rarely look at things properly because I was in a bit of a rush. Anyway, I found this gorgeous fabric folded up, and it was $4, so I kind of felt that I needed to take it. My problem was I thought it was a sarong, and I love sarongs. But in this case, I was so wrong. It's actually a muumuu. So I'm going to remake it into a skirt. And I'm going to show you how. Now on either side of the muumuu, there are stitching. One at the bottom like that. And then up the side. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to very carefully unpick these stitches because I don't want to ruin the fabric. I think it's gorgeous, and as I say, I was a little bit disappointed that it wasn't a sarong. Preferably unstitch rather than pull, because it could pull the threads on the fabric and then I'd have marks. I like to have long skirts, so I am going to measure up 36 inches from base to the top, and I'm going to put a pin mark. I'm not going to pull it too tight. Whoops, there we go. I'm going to pull it too tight. I'm just going to put a pin there. And seeing as this is not a fitted skirt, I'm not going to worry too much if it's totally even. I'm going to put a mark up the center like that, also at 36 inches, and then one on the far end too. And this is going to be the length of the skirt. Anything else will go into the waistband. So because I like long skirts, I'm just going to measure up 36 inches from top, or from bottom there to top here, just in 3 places. Because it's long and flowy, it doesn't have to be exact. Just about right. I want to show you that you can do lots of things on a small area. There's my third point here. The easiest way to get this in line is I'm going to pinch where 2 of my pins are and pull them up away from each other. On the first one, I'm going to pop the iron down like that, remove the pin, and I'm going to aim to the second pin like that. Now that should give me a nice crisp fold at the top of my new skirt. Then I'm just going to repin on the underside because I'm going to be taking this side off. Next, I'm going to go from the middle pin to the pin on the second side and do exactly the same. So from the pre-folded ironed side, I'm going to remove that pin and then iron straight to the third pin. Now I'm going to do that on the second side, so I have both sides of this muumuu ironed into place. Pop that pin back under, and the same here. Put that back under. This is the second side, ironed and also pinned into place. Now the thing to do before you start cutting for the waistband is to find your elastic, and I'm going to allow 2 inches for the turn, so I'm actually going to give it 4 inches in total. And this is where one of these comes in rather useful, because I'm going to run it along my folded edge. Now just be careful that you don't cut both sides of your fabric. So pop your scissors on top of the piece you're keeping and then start cutting to 4 inches all the way along. It'll take a little minute because you want to be a little bit precise on this. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's all going to be hidden away. Okay, now this is the second side done. I'm not going to throw this away. I'm going to use that for something else in a minute. I'm going to put right sides together of the skirt. Make sure the hem is at the bottom. And although this has been hemmed on the side, that's fine. I'm going to work my way up to the top. And here, where the fold of my waistband is on both sides, I have pinned it. That's where I'm going to be working towards. And usually I pin the bottom as well, but I think this is not going to walk too much, so it seems pretty stable. I have lined the base of my hems together and the side hems like I would the raw edges on to one side, and my stitch is 3.5, but number 3 will be fine. And I'm just going to go forward and back just to hold the bottom of the hem in place. Then I'm going to just carefully pull my fingers back, make sure that the seams are level, and carry on sewing. Just need to guide it through, and hopefully, with a bit of luck, they'll run evenly and I will have my folds exactly where I want them. I'm just getting to the top here where the fold for the waistband meets on both sides. So I'm going to pinch those together and apply a little bit of tension so that everything goes through smoothly. And they meet exactly where I want them to. And the top where I cut it for the waistband is even too. So I'm just going to carry on there. And then reverse. Press the side seams open. I usually do, it just makes everything look a bit prettier. Like that. And as everything heats up, it will flatten out quite nicely. Turn the skirt the right way round, and then starting on the back where you originally had your line, like that. Having removed the pin, I'm just going to pop that down on the centre there, pulling away along the original line to one side just to crisp it up again. But this time I'm going to, you see I've got a nice crisp line there, I'm going to just fold that under into the fold and then fold it again. This is going to be the waistband. As I said, this is a real simple skirt. With my pin, I'm going to just pop that back in to hold it, and then I'm going to move on to the next section. Now I am going to open seam up and just press down lightly so it's looks prettier from the outside, and it's also smoother for running elastic through. But here again, once that's open, I'm going to fold that down to the original crease line, and then from where I just pressed it from along the waistband across, I'm going to repress, fold this raw edge into the top fold of the waistband and pull it. Make sure that the seams are level here, like that, and just press that into place. When that's done, just pin it. This is such a fine fabric. I adore this fabric, it's so pretty. Now, this is a little bit ruckety, so I'm going to put one more line in there. And I usually make sure that the raw edge is pushed hard into the top. And all I'm going to do is press down to here. Repeat that all the way around. And the last section is usually easiest because you started here and ended here. So I'm just going to pull the last piece out. I'll pull everything together tightly. Oops, there we go. And work my way across. I'm going to start on the side seam because it's is firmer than anywhere else, and I am going to be running my stitch. There's a little line along here, or a groove, usually on your foot, so I'm going to pop that down so that this fold here is in line with that. And I'm just going to go forward and back a couple of stitches in order to make sure that my fabric doesn't move. I'm going to see if I can keep things in line. So this and this are I'm going to try to keep in line as I sew round. And then I go to the next one. If it walks a little bit, pull the bottom fabric or the top fabric just to make sure it's lined up. And then work all your way around the waistband. Now I'm going to start about 2 inches away from where I started, which was here. I'm going to do reverse stitch, and the reason is I'm putting quite a thick waistband in. Before I put the elastic in, I'm just going to sew along the top of this fabric, and again I'm going to pop the foot down with the top of this waistband running along the groove that's on this side of the sewing foot all the way around. The reason I'm doing this is so that it should keep the raw edge nice and tight, and as you wear the skirt it should also stop the elastic fraying the top edge. Measure off your elastic to fit around your waist with a little bit of tension, not too tight, and then this is quite a firm one, so I think I might be able to push that round without too much trouble. Here we go. When the end is nearly all the way through, to stop it pulling into the waistband, just put a pin, and I usually fold it slightly like that. Oops, daisy. Like that, so it can't pull too much further into the waistband. And then I'm going to seal it there. And then all I'm going to do is ruck up as far as I can the waistband to that point. Makes it easier to push it all the way through. When I've got to the other end, I am just going to pull that pin out, and I'm going to just make sure that the elastic runs top to top, bottom to bottom, and I'm just going to pin it. So I'm going to do just across the top like this, and go down to the bottom, twist it again. Always leave the needle down, it makes it a lot easier. A couple of stitches across, needle down, and I'm going to twist this all the way around. It might be easier, there we go, and then back towards the top, and then just along the top again. You can go crossways if you want to. I'm going to pull that out, and it's popped in right in there, and I'm just going to seal that shut. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that you have gained some insight on how to make something so wrong go so right. And let's say this was a quick, easy skirt. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe and click the bell button if you want to hear more from me. Otherwise, can I have some thumbs up? Tells me how well I'm doing. See you later. Take care. Ciao. Sorry about the animals. They seem to have decided that this was the best place to be.